it going, gamers? Luis here from Gaming Vlog Network, and about a year ago I made a series of videos titled my top 5 must-have games for each of the platforms on the market, so the PS4, the Xbox One, the Wii U, the 3DS, and the Vita. And I wanted to update that list with a brand new series of videos titled Top 10 Must-Have Games, so this is an additional 5 on top of the 5 already announced, and mixing it up with new games released this year. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be getting a new platform or a handheld this holiday season, so I thought this would be a good way to recommend some new games for you guys to play on your new handheld or console. So in this video I'll be giving you guys my top 10 must-have Nintendo 3DS games for those of you that could use some game recommendations or just bought a brand new 3DS. For number 10 we have Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance is an action RPG for the Nintendo 3DS. It takes place after Kingdom Hearts Recoded for the Nintendo DS, and it features a large cast of famous Disney characters from Mickey Mouse to Kevin Flynn from Tron Legacy, and even a number of Square Enix characters from The World Ends With You. Now I must admit, the Kingdom Hearts series is one of the most complicated series in terms of storyline and plot of all time. It's really complicated, so jumping into the game at the end of the timeline probably isn't the best idea, but there is like a compendium-like little feature that gives you summaries of the previous entries, so if you do end up picking up Dream Drop Distance without playing any of the other games in the series, you will have at least some basic knowledge of the timeline by reading the summaries inside the game. The combat and platforming is a lot of fun, with the addition of the new flow motion combat and platforming system that lets you move from building to building. If you haven't gotten into the Kingdom Hearts series yet, I recommend you check this one out. It's by far my favorite game series of all time. Number 9. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is the sequel to the fantastic GameCube game Luigi's Mansion. You get to play as Luigi as he explores 5 mansions looking for the shattered pieces of the Dark Moon that usually keeps the ghost at bay. Each mansion is divided into missions that consist of different puzzle mechanics that vary upon each mansion. For the first time in the series, you're not only able to play in multiplayer mode, but also online multiplayer, where you can work with a group of friends to clear multiple floors of ghosts. It's a really fun game with a lot of puzzles and collectibles, so if that's your sort of thing, I'd highly recommend you check this one out. It's a ton of fun. Number 8. New Super Mario Bros. 2. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is a sequel to the well-known New Super Mario Bros. Game on the Nintendo DS. This sequel doesn't change too much with the formula, aside from adding a few new power-ups like the Tanuki suit and the Golden Flower. This particular Mario game focuses deeply on collecting as much coins as you can, and this introduces a new challenge for players in the form of Coin Rush, a new game mode that has you rush through a level while also collecting as much coins as you can. Overall, it doesn't really change too much with the new Super Mario Bros. Formula. It's still a great Mario platformer though, so I'd highly recommend you check it out if you do own a 3DS. Number 7. Animal Crossing New Leaf. Animal Crossing New Leaf was actually my first Animal Crossing game, and it got me hooked from the start. It's a brilliant little life simulation game that has you play as the mayor of your own town. You can decorate the interior of your home with a bunch of neat little Nintendo collectibles, and even visit your friends' towns online. Honestly, I played this game for 2 months straight and then went cold turkey and stopped. I never touched it again just because I lost so much productivity playing this game. It was that much fun and so entertaining. Just be ready to do a lot of beetle hunting because you're going to need to pay off that house loan. Number 6. Pokemon X and Y or Pokemon on 3DS. Pokemon X and Y is the newest reimagining of the Pokemon series that brought a huge reform of how the games were played. For the first time ever, the series is in complete 3D, upgraded from the usual sprite gameplay. Mega Evolutions were also introduced as an additional way to evolve new and already established Pokemon to even higher forms, like Charizard to Charizard X and Charizard Y. There was even a new Pokemon type introduced, called the Fairy type, that advances the battle formulas of the game in a significant way. If you don't want to play this new adventure, you can pick up Pokemon Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire and play the Hoenn region journey once again, but in this new type of gameplay. Number 5. A Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds is one of, if not my favorite Legend of Zelda handheld game. I love that Nintendo brought it back to its traditional Link to the Past style of gameplay, and added their own little twist into the mix to make it feel fresh and new. Rather than having an order for all the dungeons, or unlocking individual items one by one, this Zelda game changes the formula entirely. You can tackle dungeons in the order you like, and even rent items out if you don't want to purchase them. A new gameplay / puzzle mechanic that's really interesting is one that allows Link to turn into a 2D form, allowing him to cross walls as a new puzzle mechanic, as well as entering the Shadow World. It's a really great Legend of Zelda game that really changes up the formula of the series after being primarily 3D gameplay in recent years. It actually seems like we might be sticking to this style of gameplay with the release of Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Number 4. Super Mario 3D Land. Super Mario 3D Land brought over 3D Mario platforming to the 3DS. The gameplay has a similar look to that of Super Mario Galaxy while retaining the gameplay design of Super Mario 64. The Tanuki suit is back once again, allowing Mario to float from platform to platform, and the 3D gameplay effect is actually really great. Instead of acting like a gimmick, it actually plays a good part into the gameplay, allowing developers to hide little objects behind certain foreground elements. It actually feels like the definitive handheld Mario game, where previous 3D handheld Mario games like Super Mario 64 DS tried its best to be that iconic handheld game, but ultimately it just got a pass or an okay, while 3D Land was truly amazing. You owe it to yourself to pick this one up if you're a Mario Brothers fan. Number 3. Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 7 was a big change for the Mario Kart formula, not just for the handhelds, but in general. Gliders and underwater segments were added in this particular Mario Kart entry that changed up the level design of each of the tracks. Kart customization allowed you to pimp out your kart with the best stats for interesting strategies during races. New items at the time were added like the Fire Flower that lets you shoot fireballs, the Tanuki Leaf that allows you to grow a tail and reflect projectiles, and the Lucky Number 7 that gives you 7 items all at once. Everything about this game is fantastic, from its great tracks to the enjoyable online multiplayer with up to 8 players. The only disappointment I have with this game is its pretty bland roster of characters. At least you can play as your Mii though. Number 2. Fire Emblem Awakening. Fire Emblem Awakening is one of the best tactical RPGs on the 3DS. I was originally intimidated by this series as I had not played any other entry in it, but boy is this one great game. The presentation in this sets standards on the 3DS. The beautiful anime and CGI cutscenes along with the customizable camera angles during battles makes for one of the best looking games on the handheld. The gameplay is approachable for newcomers like myself with the casual setting that lets your avatar come back to life after death in battle. Now if you prefer the harder difficulty, you can turn on the permadeath feature called the classic mode, and this will actually change and continue the story as if your character actually died in battle. You can create your own avatar to play as you join Prince Crom's kingdom. The depth of the game is insane. There's multiple character classes, weapons to find, items to forge, heck you can even have your characters get married and have children. You'll definitely be playing this game for quite some time. And finally, number 1. Super Smash Bros. 3DS. Super Smash Bros. For 3DS is my favorite game on the handheld. It still amazes me that this game is able to run on the 3DS. You can play a full-fledged Super Smash Bros. Game on the go, with really the only lacking part compared to the Wii U version being the graphics and the controller options. There's a total of 49 different characters with an additional 5 DLC characters, including Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. Being able to not only match up your favorite Nintendo characters, but also other iconic video game characters like Pac-Man, Sonic, Mega Man, Ryu, and soon to be Cloud Strife is extraordinary. It's quite possibly the best crossover matchup game of all time. The online and the local multiplayer is the best reason to get this game. You can play with up to 3 other friends locally or online. There's trophies to collect, customizable moves to unlock, and generally so much for you to play. Super Smash Bros. For 3DS is a must-have for any 3DS owner. And that does it for my top 10 must-have games for the 3DS. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it informative and useful. Maybe you guys have a list of games you guys need to buy this holiday season now, so good luck with the shopping. Also keep in mind, this is my own personal top 10 must-have games, so there are games I've never played before on the 3DS that might be amazing, but I've never played them before. And I'm not going to start lying now and saying, hey, get this game because other people say it's really good, but I've never played it before. I'm not going to do that. However, if you do have a game I didn't mention in this list, please drop it in the comment section below, tell me why it's amazing, and share it with the rest of the community. I'm sure everyone would really appreciate that. As always, thank you all very much for watching the video. If you guys want to keep up to date with me off of YouTube, all my social network links, including my gaming usernames and my 3DS friend code, are in the description below. Once again, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.